Okay, we're gonna go over working with matrices. So they've been given us 3 matrices, and they've used the uppercase letters to show the values of them. This is a question we've been given. Okay, they want us to first multiply a scalar of 2 times matrix A. Then whatever that is, we're going to add it to matrix B. And then whatever that final answer is, we're going to multiply by matrix C. So a lot of information in the first one. Okay, probably the simplest thing to do is to multiply a scalar by a matrix C. So let's turn 2A. Okay, so 2A is the idea of we're taking the number 2 and we're multiplying. I wonder if I can just copy this. Oh, perfect. We're going to multiply 2. Don't disappear on me. Set that up. Great. By every single value in there. So if you remember like your distributive property, think of this like 2 has to go by every single number within. Okay. So pretty straightforward when it comes to the actual like carrying out of it. 2 times all these numbers we should be pretty good with. So in other words, 2A would be equal to 2 times 3 is our 6. Okay. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 5 is 10. I know it looks messy over there. Okay. 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 16 is 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Times negative 2 is negative 4, and then negative 2 again. So we now have our new 2A. All right. We have a value of what this matrix would be, and that's what this is. Okay. Now we're going to take this and we're going to add it to matrix B. In order to do that, we have to make sure both matrices have the same rows and columns. And it just so happens to turn out that 2A is a 3 by 3. This first one being our rows and then our columns. So we have our R and then our C. Works out great. They're both the same, so we can add them together. So let's take these 2 values. Same idea. I love computers for copy and paste. Eh? Copy and paste the first one down here. Okay. Oh, that's. And then let's take our second matrix, our B. We're going to copy and paste. Okay. Now what we do when we're adding 2 matrices together is we just have to find out what the subscripts are. So it's important to be able to tell. Let's change our color here, maybe to orange. Okay. If this is A, this would be A row 1, column 1. Okay. This would be A row 1, column 2. This would be A row 1, column 3. Okay, and we can denote the rest of that. So without doing the middle ones because they'll get too messy, the last one here, this would be A row 3, column 1, A row 3, column 2, A row 3, column 3. Okay, and the middle ones we'll just we'll take for granted as we go through here. For our B's, same idea. This would be B11, B12, B13, and B row 3, column 1, B row 3, column 2, B row 3, column 3. Okay, so the reason I wrote those out is because what's important is when we're adding or subtracting matrices, these subscripts here, those are the values we take our operation to. So if we're adding, I add A11 plus B11. If I'm subtracting or adding again, I would take A32 plus B32. Those are the values that we add or subtract to each other. We don't really interact with any of the other ones. So with that being said, okay, our new 2A plus B, okay, will be equal to, okay, A11, B11, so we got 6, and we know that we're adding, right? And that's what it said in the question, right here. 6 plus 1, so we'll kind of write them out that way. 16 plus 9, and negative 6 plus 3. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, with that being said, how will you walk me through? What would I add 8 to?
7.
Okay, and then what next?
14 plus 6.
Good.
And then negative 4 plus 2.
Yep, and then the last one.
10 plus 6.
Good.
12 plus 8, and negative 2 plus 5.
Plus 5. Great. So we're able to set this addition up quickly. So let's quickly carry it out. We have 2A plus B, and we're going to have 7. Oh, I didn't really make that long enough. Hold on. We're going to have 7, 15, 16. This will be 25, 20, 20, and this will become -3, -2, positive 3. I don't need to write the positive in. I hope I did that right. I did it quickly there. I think that's right. Okay, so there's our new matrix. The very last step in our question, okay, is we need to multiply. So we got all this value. That's what our new matrix is. Our matrix is at the bottom. We need to multiply by matrix 3. We need to make sure when we're multiplying, and this says 3 by whatever we're doing. The order becomes important when we're doing these matrices here. What we're going to notice, and I'm just going to write out just how many rows and columns there are in each. And again, I set this up so it works out nice for us. But A2 plus B, this is that matrix, okay? And C, okay? And I guess we should just copy and paste again. We should use our computer to our advantage here. Copy. There we go. With our C, can overlap it? Hey, not bad. Okay. What's important here is we have to make sure, and I'm going to write out just the uppercase letters together. Okay, this is, I'm going to rename this, I guess we'll call it Q. Okay, just so we can see. Okay, and this Q would be 3 by 3. So we have to make sure that our C, which is a 3 by 3, it's going to be multiplied by Q, which is a 3 by 3. We have to make sure that what they call it are the inner numbers, okay? And that would be the number of columns in the first number has to equal the number of rows in the second matrix, okay? Okay. So if those two are equal, which they happen to be, then we can multiply them, okay? And the new matrix will end up being the first by the last, and that actually we'll say we call new matrix N, okay? N would be 3 by 3. If we had different numbers, this 3 is the first one, and this is the second one, okay? That's what it would be. If we had, because everything's a 3 by 3, we're going to end up with a 3 by 3 in this case, okay? Put that back. Okay, so we're going to multiply this. Now, multiplying, like I said, is where it gets tricky. We're going to take our C value first, again. I'm going to copy it. Okay, I'm going to write it down here. I'm going to talk about what we really have to do with it. And then I'm going to rewrite our other matrix just so we have some condensed space. Okay, so our other one, again, we called it matrix Q, is going to be 7, 15, 16, 25, 20, 20, and -3, -2, 3. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we take our first value, and it's going to be multiplied. So our first number in our row is the first number in this column. The second number in this row is multiplied by the second number in the column, and the third number in the row is multiplied by the third number in the column. Okay. With that being said, okay, we repeat that process. I'll change the color again. Orange might show up nice. First number in the row by the first number in the column. Second number in the row, second number in the column. Third in the row, third in the column. And then finally, let's go purple here. First one, first, second, second, third, third. Okay, so that's where it becomes tricky with multiplying the two matrices. So I'm going to do a bit of mental math as I go through it, or at least I'm going to try to. This might end up being a little difficult. We'll call our new matrix, like we said, N, and we'll just kind of set it up. So the first one is we're going to have -10 times 7. So I'll write them out so that we can see them. Then we're going to have 0, okay? And we also got to double check, or not double check, but we have to make sure values, okay? We take the order of the first matrix, okay? So because we're going across in rows, okay, the 10, 0, the 8, their multiplication questions, okay, are written across our row like this, okay? The second one, okay, we're multiplying these values. They're written across in rows like this. And finally, our third one, we're multiplying these values, and they're also written across in a row like that, okay? So that's just how we would set that up. So we have -10 by 7, then we have 0 by 15, and then we have 8 by 16. That's going to be a tough one for at least in our head. The next one we're going to have -5 by 15, 0 by 20, and -2. Oh, did I read that right?
Yeah, -2 by...
Oh, I think I read that wrong. The very first one. Good, I made a mistake, which is fine. If you notice, I said -5 times 15, which is incorrect. It's -5 times 25. So let's Let's fix that. Negative 5 times 25, because we need to be multiplying by this. 0 times 20 was right. Negative 2 times 20. Okay. Glad I picked up on that. And then finally, our negative 1, what would that be multiplied by?
Negative 3.
Good. Then the 1 by?
Negative 2.
And then the negative 6 by?
3.
Great job. And then our last step for our new matrix, I guess I denoted it, or we've called it N, our last 3 by 3 matrix, is just to carry this out. So negative 70, I think that's negative 125, and that should be 3. And we get 0, 0, negative 2. How about you do that top value there? That row 1, column 3.
128.
128? Yeah. Okay. And then 18. So I believe that would be our final answer. That's 128 there. Okay. So that would be our final answer. And in that example, we went through scalars, addition, and multiplication of matrices.